with much greater influence when we work together. So remember, we go back 14 billion years, and in the story of the universe and Thomas Berry's unfolding of that for us, we're not talking tiddlywinks. You know, this is big. This is the universe level. So we need to think of the three levels, each of us: personal, communal, and societal. And I say, you know, that the Christian is really good. I think Christians, Catholics, are really good at the personal and the direct service, the emergency action. It's right here, right now, in front of me. I feel good, you feel good, I help, you're helped. It's all good. And we stay there because it feels good. And we have to do it. There's no question. It's one level of Christian response to social concern. But there are two more levels. There's the second level, which is, it makes a big difference if I do it together. If you're working the garden and you're doing it alone, how fun is that? No. It's a lot of work, right? So you need companions, and you need to have a group. So here's a group. Is that all you have for the farm? Just the three of you? Okay. You get your friends, you say, come on over, it's fun. And the farm grows. And I bet it's not like a fig tree. I bet you get tomatoes, peppers. You increase the impact by communal action. And the third level is influencing the systems. Now that's not just for some people. It's each of us have a call, a responsibility to influence the systems. Now I'm talking to the choir here at Sacred Heart. I know you have been doing this for eons, and I've come here for other events and so on, New Year's Eve, and I have been here to experience the awareness, the social awareness. So I'm talking to the choir. But because you are so gifted and blessed, you can't keep that to yourself. You need to be leaders in the Catholic. I say Catholic because they're missing. They're missing from the picture of doing something, really doing something for global climate change. And I think Pope Francis is giving us a big help in making this document for us so we can take it apart, chew it, learn what he's saying, and take it to our lawmakers and our Catholics in Congress. Do you know that the majority of people in the law-making bodies of our country are Catholics? That the corporations, the multinational corporations in the marketplace are Catholics. The CEOs all went to Catholic school, right? Ben went to Catholic school, and look what he's doing. But when I would talk to the Congress people, I was sitting next to Senator Casey and about the global climate change, and he's a Catholic for Pennsylvania, and so is Senator Toomey, a Catholic. They're on opposite ends of the spectrum for decision making. But I'm a Catholic too, so I keep at it. I keep talking. I keep saying, yes, but you know, the Pope says this. I mean, I use the Pope as my authority because it's your authority too. And they will, then, you know, and you think about it, we don't speak up enough. And it's part of our social responsibility. We are called on all three levels. So, this talk, the purpose of this was to have practical action. We want to leave here each of us is part of each of these areas. Sometimes we get blinders and we get small-minded thinking. These young people, you're already thinking big. You're already thinking big. Leaders have to think out of the box. Big. So like what? Well, in each of these situations where you are, you want to ask the question, how can I reduce the use of energy that I put out? And they call it a carbon footprint. They call it our carbon footprint. The Catholic message is, who is under your carbon footprint? Does everybody know what a carbon footprint is? A carbon footprint. How much carbon am I emitting into the atmosphere? Because that's what's causing the climate change, the problem. So who is under that? The people who are poor, the poorest of the poor, those who probably don't put any carbon into the atmosphere, are the ones who are going to suffer the most, first, and worst, without causing it themselves. So what can we do? How can we stop putting carbon into the atmosphere? So composting, because the reason I put composting there is methane is 80 times worse than carbon dioxide. So we know about carbon dioxide, and we don't want to put carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. But methane, produced by landfills, is 80 times stronger in destroying the ozone layer than carbon dioxide. So any way we can reduce methane, we want to do it. So by composting, we're keeping food out of the landfill. It gets turned back into soil, which is being eroded by flooding, and we're restoring good soil. So compost is one of the best things you can do. And of course, plastic. If you think plastic, no plastic, think getting rid of plastic and all the things that because plastic is the oil companies. And you think about plastic bottles, and there's a whole island in the Pacific that is nothing but plastic bottles. We got to get rid of plastic bags, no purchasing of bottled water, eliminate the purchase of. I made that promise, and every once in a while, somebody gives me, and I want to be kind and polite, and I think, oh my goodness, a plastic bottle, I can hardly touch it. But I think this person already purchased it. Okay, so I don't purchase bottled water, and I don't use bottled water if I can control the situation. But I accept it, and then I, try to be sure it gets recycled. But it's the taking pure water from places like India, Indonesia, China, places where people are going to run out of pure drinking water. That is so wrong for us to think we can buy that water, which people have a right to for life, and it's going to be gone. And we put it in bottles that are plastic that leach toxics into the water. So think bad. Bottled water, bad. And then think recycle everything. Reuse. This jacket, all these are like rags. They were put together by an artist. And so it's fancy. And so you think reuse, repurpose, reinvent, and don't purchase anything. We've got to get away from the consumerist lifestyle. Try to live without anything new. That's fun. It's a game. It's a U.S. game. Try it. It's like, can I live without anything? I could remake something. I could repurpose it or get it from a thrift shop. So, societal change or systemic change, social justice sounds complicated. Somebody said to me, when you talk about social justice, I just glaze over. Now, I don't think you're glazing over. You are not